Everybody Hates Rand is a Wheel of Time podcast that will contain spoilers for all 14 books. So if you're anti-spoiler, pause this, read all 14 books, and come back. We'll be here, waiting.
Our title is a joke and is meant to be taken as such. In the context of this podcast, everybody refers to us and our cat. You are free to feel however you want about Rand, who is a fictional character. Don't DM us.
The world is a mess, Dark One stretching out his hand. The dragon's reborn, the fire's been fanned, but everybody hates Rand. Everybody hates Rand. Everybody hates Rand.
And then we had to read these chapters. It's like Earth Day, and then it's like, look, it's Valan Luca who keeps animals in cages.
Yeah, that is pretty upsetting. Valan Luca is such a capital letter character. Tybalt, what a strange time to decide that you do want to engage with that toy after all. Right now.
After like months.
On the podcast. After ignoring it for pretty much the entire time it's been there.
Yeah. Anyway, Valan Luca is a capital C character.
Yeah, he's just like hot, apparently. Everyone reacts to him like he's hot. They're always talking about his shoulders and his calves.
Well-turned leg.
I don't understand what that means.
Who do we think? Who's a man who has nice legs? Welcome to our Ding Dong podcast. I'm going to find a man who I think has nice legs.
This is Everybody Hates Rand, our Ding Dong podcast. I'm Emily. That's Sally. We're here. It's summer. Sally's looking for a man with nice legs, both existentially and on her phone currently.
I'm just like, how do I even start?
Man, nice legs, Google search. Can't wait to see what that turns up. What kind of porn would that?
It's just a bunch of dudes in their underoos.
Aw. Their underoos.
And then one lady in a very short dress.
Good for her. It's April. The 420 was this week. We forgot to commemorate it in our episode that actually came out on 420. And I regret that. But not much else, I guess.
It's just hard to keep the EHR timeline.
Yeah, we record usually on Wednesdays, so like the entire world has usually shifted between Wednesday and the following Friday, you know? But gotta do it. Gotta get it out of the way so I can enjoy my weekend.
27 famous man legs to celebrate shorts season.
Do you have to like look at the leg and guess who it belongs to?
No, it's just an article from March 8th, 2016 by Elle Magazine.
It was a different world in 2016.
Yeah. So the first person is Pharrell. Will Smith. He's got a nice leg.
Yeah, he does, I guess. Pharrell is only because he's always wearing shorts on the red carpet.
Like what?
I don't think we can, just because we've seen his legs, doesn't mean we should put him at the top of our nice legs list.
Yeah. Tom Daley has nice legs, but he's an athlete, so...
Tom Daley. Which one's he? Is he the stupid one? No, that's Ryan Lochte.
Yeah, Tom Daley is the cute gay British diver.
Aww.
Who, has a cute husband and they adopted a cute baby.
Oh my god, that's adorable.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about Olympic athletes. It's not one of my, realms of trivia knowledge.
It is one of mine. I love the Olympics.
I like that.
David Beckham, which EHR has trauma related to watching him sleep, so we can't say him.
But it's sort of canceled out by the fact that he appears in King Arthur Legend of the Sword in a minor role.
Yeah.
I like those two thoughts always clash, the unstoppable force meeting an immovable object in my head whenever I think of David Beckham.
Yeah. I mean, soccer players do have really nice legs because they've got the
That's true. How old is David Beckham?
I don't know.
Like 50-something?
I think he's in his 40s.
40s. Now I have to Google, how old is David Beckham?
I wish people would stop showing me pictures of Matthew McConaughey.
Just in general. I heard you say so distinctly Matthew McConaughey's name from your room today while you were on a call with someone, and I was just like...
I was in a call with my friend Brianna. We had to do a spreadsheet together because she's the accountant at work and I'm the development person. So we were doing like a grants spreadsheet together. And then we just started like talking about stuff. And at one point during our all-staff meeting a while ago, like a week ago or so, our CEO was like, did you guys see that thing where Matthew McConaughey and Colbert made masks together? And it was just like a really weird like cultural touchstone to try and like throw in.
I want a t-shirt that just says, I don't want to know what celebrities do in quarantine.
Yeah,
I don't
really
care.
don't.
It's the last thing from my mind. If I follow them on Twitter, maybe. Because those are the celebrities I have curated.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's also like a difference between like celebrity with like a capital C and like the famous people I follow on Twitter.
Yeah, the McElroy brothers.
Yeah, it's like it's a difference between Matthew McConaughey and Travis McElroy.
Yeah, perfecting his sous vide game or whatever the hell he's doing.
I don't find any of these men to have particularly nice legs.
I don't understand why in fantasy world... Just a second, I hear
Yeah, he's making some sort of horrid noise. Okay, I think the problem is...
Hold on, in a twist of fate, we did lock Tibble out of prison, so that was pretty funny.
He's causing crimes inside of his own prison cell, so... fuck. The problem...
Do you think Valan Luca's legs are better or worse than the Leggies in Onward?
I mean, they have to be better than the Leggies in Onward.
It's just legs. Khakis.
The problem is that when I think of, like, the parts of the male human body...
That you are
that I am attracted to, legs do not make the list.
I don't even process legs.
Like, on ladies...
Sure.
Legs.
Yeah.
I don't know why this is like my bisexual brain is like, yes, lady legs, no male legs.
No, it's just one of those things. It's like, I can only really see men as attractive if I'm looking at them from the waist up.
No, I mean, like, it's true. Like, the things I typically, like, respond to physically in men is, for me, with my hand fetish, nice hands.
Hand fetish, yeah.
But, like, nice arms, nice shoulders.
Yeah, so when someone's like, he has a nice set of shoulders, I'm like, I get that.
Yeah.
A man can have a nice set of shoulders.
I guess what you could be like, he's got a nice butt. Like...
If they were just like, that man has a fine ass, I'd be like, cool.
Yeah, I get it. They're like, Valan Luca has that good Chris Evans butt, you know? Like in Captain America.
That made my mom almost pass out in the movie theater seat. She literally gasped.
I mean, it's a nice butt.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I always think, whenever I'm like, I need to reference a man butt, it's always Chris Evans, not because I think he has, like, the epitome of a good butt, because I remember that his butt almost killed Emily's mom.
Yeah.
And I think that's very funny.
Because my mom's horniness for Captain America specifically has nothing to do with Chris Evans. She's seen other Chris Evans movies.
And she's like, no.
And she's just like, whatever. But Captain America, she is like...
That's my man.
Real horny for that man.
Anyway, I just don't get the leg thing. Because I just, like, cannot fathom a man that I know of or conceive of where I'm like, oh, that pair of legs makes me big horny.
I think my brain just censors legs.
It's after watching Onward. We can't look at legs anymore.
I can never look at legs again after the movie with just the dad leggies. That movie should have been called Dad Leggies.
Yeah, the title was not well workshopped.
Yeah, Onward? What's that supposed to mean? Onward and upward, Excelsior?
Probably. Did you see, I don't know if you saw it, but I tweeted today about, like, how bad the movie is, but how funny the concept is that your dad is just legs.
Oh, yeah, and Perry said Liz just said he's a butt every time she sees it. Yeah. She's so true.
It's so funny.
Literally my first thought when they were like, and here's the dad's legs, I was like, so there's a dick in there, right? Yeah. It's not just legs, it's also dick and butt.
Yeah. It's a butt.
Yeah.
So Liz knows. She's a comedic genius.
She truly is.
Oh, I miss her. She's so funny. I also feel like the problem is that the cut of men's shorts is really bad, usually.
Yeah, it's hard to find a man in good
shorts. And, like, shorts that, like, are properly, like, fitted to show the body and aren't just, like, baggy basketball shorts.
I think my anti-man leg thing is because I've seen my dad Chris Jushot in shorts way too many times. Specifically the, like, khaki cargo shorts.
Oh, no.
That go to your knees. Like, wear them at Disneyland. Like a dad. He's got Werther's mints. Not Werther's mints. Werther's... Caramels in all his pockets. And he has the most chicken legs.
Yeah.
That ever existed.
Chris's...
I would. The thing is that if my dad died tomorrow and I could necromantically bring him back, but just his legs, I would know they were my dad's legs.
Sure, I'd
They're
be like...
very distinct.
He does have those very distinct, long, spindly
Yeah.
chicken legs. God bless him.
I know.
Be the house of the Baba Yaga.
Well, the house of the Baba Yaga with my dad's legs.
Instead of chicken feet. But you can also see, like, the tops of the khaki cargo shorts.
The weather's warming up, and so my mom was like, we're opening the pool. And I was like, it's April, and it's probably going to get cold again in the next few weeks, before we really get into summer. She was like, I know, but Dad was complaining that, like, why do we even have a pool if it's not open? And I was like, Dad has never gone into that water. Dad's afraid of the water. He will get a giant pool floaty and lay on the pool floaty. And when he tries to get up, all his Werthers will spill out of the pockets of his swim trunks.
Oh, Christopher.
It's the worst.
Oh, Chris, that's not a good
But
look.
water? Absolutely not.
Yep. These chapters happened.
It's Nynaeve and Elaine back again. At least it's not Swan and Gareth. I count my blessings every day. They are traveling still. Now they're in their modified get-up disguise. Instead of merchants, they are now a lady and her maid. When the chapter begins, Nynaeve's being really buck wild and throwing a tantrum about having to act like a maid. And it's like, from Elaine's perspective, she's being totally unreasonable. We of course have no idea how it happened from Nynaeve's perspective, but either way, not great behavior from a 20-something-year-old.
Yeah. It's also the, like, classic Robert Jordan structure where he's like, I'm gonna show you how this dynamic between the characters is playing out and then give you a completely useless 2-page flashback.
Yes.
Instead of just, like, letting us see this scene.
Yeah.
It's just odd.
It's also just, like, the classic way for Robert Jordan to start a Nynaeve and Elaine chapter. It's like he cannot ease into their points of view unless he has rehashed the ways in which they have engaged in conflict in the last week.
Yeah.
If I hated a woman as much as Elaine seems to hate Nynaeve and Nynaeve seems to hate Elaine, I would not be traveling with her.
Yeah, I'd be like, I don't care.
I've also can't recall, probably because I don't hang out with people that I don't like, I can't recall a woman I have disliked that much. Like, I'm sure they're out there. I just haven't ever put myself.
No one I've had to spend, like, an extended period of time with.
Yeah.
Who was, like, my equal as opposed to, like I've hated some of my female bosses.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It's not like a friendly person of mine whom I engage in
I feel like
extended travel with.
Part of being a woman specifically, although maybe this is just me and I don't know, but I think it's a feminine trait, is the ability to be a social chameleon and just, like, adapt to whatever is called for.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you're hanging out with, like, when we went to London, initially I was hanging out with people who I pretty much had nothing in common with. Then I met Sally and it was all good after that. Yeah. But prior to that, it was just, like, chilling with some people. We were all just getting along, even though we didn't really have anything to talk about, Yeah,
that's kind of how the people I first... Because I was hanging out with my roommates, who I knew from some classes, and it's just like, yeah, it's fine. I didn't dislike them, but it was just like we weren't companions and lads like Emily and I were.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Finally, Elaine is like, I wish you would stop being a crybaby about this. Only she says it nicer. She's like, please, you're being ridiculous. And Nynaeve's like, fine. Realizes she's being ridiculous. They make up. whatever. Then they come to the circus, which is described in detail as all Robert Jordan scenes are, but at least it's justified by the fact that this will be a recurring setting.
Mm-hmm.
Got, like, a lion in a cage in the back of a wagon, which is not enough space for a big cat.
Absolutely
at all.
not.
They describe a couple of animals that I don't think have
Yeah.
a real world equivalent. There's something like a boar, but with, like, long toes or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to know what that is. Sounds gross. And, of course, there's also some big elephants that are called, what are they called?
Boar horses?
Boar horses. And Elena and Nynaeve know from Falm that these are Shanshin, beasts of burden, I guess is the way to put it. But they're like, where'd you get those? And Valan Luca's like, Shara, of all places. And Nynaeve's like, no one goes to Shara, which is such a bizarre, like, it is such a bizarre background thing that there's a whole other country connected to them by the Ale Waste, you know, so it's on the same landmass. And it is like, you can't get in.
Yeah.
No one comes out if you go in.
It's like, why?
Does that not freak everyone out?
Yeah, it freaked me out.
Like, imagine if Canada built a wall.
And they were just like, no.
And they were just like, stop.
I mean,
and we
they
did
would
it,
be
and they shut
justified.
down. I mean, this is it's basically like North Korea.
Yeah.
News doesn't come out, hardly any, or if it is, it's, you know, government propaganda.
Yeah.
And you know nothing is getting into the people.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I'm constantly thinking about North Korea and being like, I wonder what they're getting up to. Are the people okay? I don't care about the government,
Yeah, fuck the government.
but I hope the people are okay,
Yeah.
because they're just people. So yeah, I don't know why everyone isn't a little, like, weirder about Shara.
Yeah, it's weird.
There's also an island of madmen or something.
Yeah.
If you see the, like, full-scale map, it's like, here's the island of madmen.
Okay, who lives on the island of Mad
Mad men, presumably.
Jon Hamm.
Jon Hamm.
Exclusively. It's just Jon Hamm's island.
It's like Castaway.
Yeah. I just tried to Google full map of wheelie time, as if Google would know what the fuck that means.
Full map of wheelie time. I don't know, it's some island in the southern hemisphere. I assume it's like Australia equivalent.
I mean, this does vaguely look like
Australia.
Yeah, I mean, vaguely got like the Russian, European landmass. This kind of
Minus
looks like
all the important
England.
peninsulas.
Yeah. And then just, here's Australia. The Isle of Man. That feels a little racist towards Australia, but...
I know, right? What are you saying, Robert Jordan? G'day, mate. I think I'm like I'm on a streak of using "G'day, mate"
G'day, mate.
in all of my our episodes.
What's going on at the Isle of Madmen, though? I need to know.
I think it would have something to do with, like, you know, guys who go crazy from channeling.
Oh.
You'd just think if a country was going to come up in the last battle between Shara and the Isle of Madmen, you'd put your bet on the Isle of Madmen, wouldn't you? But no, it's never even been mentioned.
Yeah, it's so weird.
We only know about it because it's in the big map. So it's like, Robert, why'd you even bother with it?
The Ale Waste is so big.
I know.
Why is there just this huge fucking desert next to a completely, like, otherwise wet land?
I know, I'm like, I don't think that's quite how rain shadows work.
Yeah, and, like, is Shara also just a big desert?
Don't know.
I have a lot of geographical questions. And, like, what is the blight?
Except that they're coded in a very racist way.
Uh-oh.
Of course.
That's not surprising.
Yeah, hardly surprising, considering.
Okay, so the Shanshan continent is called Shantan?
I can't remember if it's called Shanshan or Shandar.
Well, it looks like the capital is Shandar.
Oh, okay.
If I am reading this
And
map
the continent
correctly.
is called Shanshan. I guess it's like Americans. No, you'd think it would be the Shanshanins.
Shanshan, like the Kyrianan?
The Kyrianan. Oh yeah, Elaine's masquerading as a Kyrianan noblewoman because her hair has been dyed dark.
And it's like, you stupid.
Yeah.
She's doing a fake French accent the whole time.
That would make this scene infinitely better.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, Master Luca.
Valan Luca would be like, never mind.
Valan Luca would be like, go along
You
on your way.
You're ridiculous.
And they're like, what's up, Mr. Luca? He's like, this is my traveling menagerie and circus.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be great if you could stay for, like, a show. And Elaine's like, no, we gotta be going on. And he's like, it would be really great if you stayed for a show because it might, like, increase the goodwill of the general population. And also we are broke because one of the elephants did break a house.
Oops!
Did do a bad in the nearest village. And so we're out of money because, insurance doesn't exist in.
Yes, we had to pay for this.
And if it did, you doubt that an inn would take out insurance
Against elephants.
Against elephant attacks. But,
listen, the elephant probably just got stressed because elephants are not meant to be in towns.
And crowds of people, yeah.
And Valan Luca, to his credit, is like, it wasn't the elephant's fault.
Yeah.
He just got spooked.
He's
his words exactly.
Gentle. Yeah, he got spooked. That was it. You know how yesterday we recorded our latest episode of We Don't Watch Outlander, which was obviously about Onward.
Yeah. We didn't just watch Onward.
Yeah, we would never do that of our own free will. You know how we were recapping random crime procedurals?
Yeah.
I can't think of elephants because this was a very traumatizing thing that happened to me. There's an episode of Monk where someone commits murder via elephant. It's very upsetting.
Yeah.
Especially for the elephant, I imagine.
Of course.
But anyway, I think about that all the time when I think about circuses and elephants.
Yeah, I'm worried about elephants. Just, like, a lot.
Yeah, just in general,
Yeah, because people are killing them in the wild. And they're, like, really hard to keep in zoos because they're so big.
So big.
There's, like, no zoo that is capable of giving them the correct amount of space.
Anyway, Elaine's like, well, we really do have to leave, but I'll give you some money. Nynaeve, why don't you give him some money? Elaine has, like, this whole rant about how she can't see people in need without...
Yeah, and you're like, what?
And you're, like, spoken like a true...
Yeah.
Your trope.
Yeah.
Runaway princess.
Yeah, and it's like, that's so noble of you.
Wow. Yeah, it's sometimes, like... Elaine's internal monologue is like a performance she's putting on for the peasants.
That's very, because it's like there's nothing inherently wrong with being like, there's someone in need, I should help them. But it's just becomes, that phrase, there's someone in need, I should help them, has just become so much part of the, like, rich person narrative.
The lexicon, yeah.
Yeah, where it's like, you could help by not being rich and redistributing your wealth.
It's also like... After a conversation with Valan Luca, I would not walk away being like, this is a man in need.
Yeah.
I'd be like, this man is a con artist and he'll be back on his feet in no time.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's like Elaine's just, like, lack of, like, real world. Like, she talks so much about how she's like, Nynaeve thinks I'm arrogant. And it's like, well, A, you are, but you're also extremely naive.
Yeah.
Like, you have no concept of, like, people.
Elaine's like, give him some money, Nynaeve. And Nynaeve gives him a silver penny, which, because this is Wheel World and it's never explained to us, we have no idea what the currency...
I like to think it's, like, a quarter.
It's literally a quarter.
Yeah.
It's like a $2 bill.
Yeah. That's what I like to think. Nynaeve gave him $1.
Yeah, we don't know fucking inflation rates, what the deal is here.
With the economy.
But apparently that's a small sum of money, at least according to Elaine, who again is an unreliable narrator.
Yeah, regarding money.
Yeah, for all we know, it's a $50 bill or whatever.
Nynaeve would not give Valan Luca a $50
exactly.
bill.
You're right, it probably is a quarter.
She's like, take this and perish.
Nynaeve's like, he'll be fine. Then they go on to do the town, which is Sienda. They get a room in an inn. Elaine's all high and mighty about it, as always. Tom and Julian have to carry their 3 trunks up the stairs.
Rip Tom and Julian.
And they're, like, grumbling about doing it. And Elaine's like, how dare they? This is all they're here for, is to carry our luggage.
It's like, have you ever carried anything heavy upstairs?
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's awful.
Apparently the narrow servant stairs.
Yeah, no thank you.
And also, why do you need all 3 boxes? Pack a little more, you know.
Frugally.
Frugally.
Put all the important stuff in one trunk and take that inside.
Yeah.
You dingbats.
Obviously.
Don't make Tom and Julian take 3 trips out to the freaking stagecoach.
Right.
And they also have to sleep in the
stables or something. Oh, this town is also full of white cloaks.
Yeah, just, like, fucking everywhere.
Just, like, swarming. So many white cloaks, including questioners, which makes both the gals uncomfy, but, you know, such is life.
Mm-hmm.
But they're all like, they're like rushing to a meeting, sort of, and eventually we find out, is this the first, it can't be the first time one of them goes to visit Egg. That must have happened in the last book.
Yeah. Because they're, like, referencing previous meetings. And I remember at least, like, one meeting, and...
Yeah, I think...
It's all running together.
Egg had a meeting in the last... I know, because it happens so often. This is, like, a recurring thing, is the 3 chosen women meeting in Teleron Riyadh in this particular locale.
Yeah.
Which makes it even further frustrating that the boys just don't talk after, like, book 3.
When the girls are like, we will literally conduct illicit magic to hang out with each other, which is...
Big mood.
I would do that to hang
Girls
out with my
be
friends.
like that. Yeah.
And Perrin's just like, I don't think about Matt and Rand. They're dead to me.
I mean, I get it. Matt's like, I don't want to hang out with Rand. I just spent, like, 2 books with Rand.
I wouldn't want to hang out with Rand either.
Like,
Matt is correct to be like, Rand and Perrin are shitty friends.
They're shitty. Can I come to the girls' meeting?
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. I would love to watch Matt and Egg hang out in Dream World.
Like a fun little club.
Yeah.
Drink Dream Lemonade or whatever. Anyway, Nynaeve goes to Teleron Riyadh, and I'm always so boggled by how quickly they're able to fall asleep.
Yeah.
This happens in books and movies all the time. People just close their eyes and then they fall asleep, which I think is some people's experience with sleep, but my relationship with sleep is not that. I have to lay in bed for at least an hour before I fall asleep. When I was little, I was very distressed by this. I was like, I cannot fall asleep. And my mom was like, it's because you got so many things in your brain. And that still feels true.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it's like there's nothing in my brain.
Yeah.
And I still can't sleep.
One time when I was a kid, I read somewhere that it takes the average person 7 minutes to fall asleep.
What?
Yeah, and I was like, Mom, I'm gonna die.
That's
like,
so unfair.
She was like, you're fine. Sometimes it just takes people longer. But my mom is one of those people. When she lays down, she is like out for the count.
Fuck.
You can tell because she starts snoring.
Oh, man.
I know. She's just like gone. My mom can fall asleep in like literally 30 seconds. So get my dad. I don't know what it is.
Damn.
And then they got me this little ball of anxiety.
The genetic short end of the stick. Yeah, is it an anxiety thing that you just can't fall asleep? Is it the medicine that I take for the anxiety? No, because I've done this my whole life.
Yeah.
6-year-old Emily. I used to read the Wheel of Time books illicitly when I was little.
Good for you.
It wasn't exactly illicit. I just thought it was illicit because I had such weird shame complexes when I was a kid, you know? And, like, breasts are mentioned in Wheel of Time.
Ooh.
So that was not okay. Yeah.
Especially in this scene where Nynaeve is like, look at my titties.
Yeah, and Nynaeve immediately is like, what's the sexiest dress I can get into?
Yeah. Which is, like, pretty rad.
I know, I'm like, if I had a dream place where I could just, like, put on whatever clothes I wanted, you can bet I'd be, like, trying out clothes I would never try on normally.
Yeah.
Be like, what's this look like?
Yeah, and Elaine has a comment earlier in the chapter where she's like, basically she's like, Nynaeve is a huge slut who likes wearing tight clothes. It's said in Elaine's, like, delicate, condescending way.
Yeah.
And she's like, it was a struggle to get her into clothes that were, like, properly fitted. And it's like, let her be slutty if she wants to be slutty.
Yeah, just let her do her thing.
Yeah, some girls just want to have their tits out. Some people just want to have their tits out.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not gender exclusive.
And Nynaeve is like, Brigitte, where are you? And Brigitte's like, here I am. It's like saying Bloody Mary in the mirror 3 times.
Brigitte, Brigitte, Brigitte.
Brigitte, Brigitte, Brigitte. And Brigitte's like, yes, madame. How may I assist? I don't know why Brigitte puts up with Elaine and Nynaeve. Why these two idiots that she chose to hang out with?
Talk to Egg.
If Matt was there, I would understand that. She's like, I'm gonna hang out with this boy. But no.
Yeah.
He hangs out with the two most insufferable people on the planet. Anyway, Nynaeve's like, how's it going? Well, how are the Forsaken? Where's Gadal? And Brigitte's like, Gadal's been born, probably. So, somewhere out there there's a baby boy. And Robert Jordan is like, and that's a plot point we'll never revisit again. And she's like, and the Forsaken are being the Forsaken, which is to say they are plotting, scheming, sneaking about.
Being very stupid.
And being such idiots. Nynaeve, I cannot emphasize enough.
They're so dumb.
The brain cells. There's 3 of them total, and Demandred usually has all of them. Demandred in the 14th book totally loses it. It's so buck wild.
Like, his mind?
Like, yeah, he's presented as such an intelligent character up until that point, and then suddenly that characterization just goes out the window.
Well,
because, this is the 14th book of Wheel of Time, and what do character arcs matter?
yeah, at that point I'd be like, who's Demandred?
Plot is king character. Blech. Anyway, yeah, he's just, like, riding around being like, bring out the Dragon Reborn, I want to fight him. And it is like, homeboy, he has a prior engagement.
Okay, but in a way I can kind of respect that.
He's just like,
I would like to fight Randall Thor.
I'm Demandred, I'm the leader of the bad guys, here I am, and I do want to fight your leader. And Matt's like, shoot him.
Go ahead.
Someone shoot him. He's like right there.
Amazing.
He's not being subtle.
I would like to fight your leader. Oh, Demandred.
Yeah. Oh, Nynaeve's like, what about Mogadien? And Brigitte like, I haven't seen her, which is troubling because it means either she sees me and I don't see her, or she's just not been in Teleron Riyadh. Mm-hmm. And Nynaeve's like, both horrible, because if she's not in Teleron Riyadh, she's in the real world where there are more people
to hurt.
Yeah. She's like, yeah, this is the first time we find out that Mogadien is a type of spider. Mm-hmm. Spider.
Type of spur.
Spur.
Poisonous spur.
Which, you would think only existed in the Age of Legends if, insects aren't really brought up much in...
That's true.
Real world.
Are there spiders in real world?
There's never any seen. Mogadien's the only one.
So,
and Nynaeve's like,
what's a spider?
A spider? What's a Mogadien? And Brigitte's like, oh, it's like a type of spider. And Nynaeve's like, oh, what?
A type of what?
And Brigitte's like, what?
What happened to the fucking spiders?
What happened to the spiders?
Trying to think. There are, like, flies and stuff mentioned.
There's something called bite bees mentioned.
Yeah, bite bees. That sounds
bite
cute.
Bees.
Oh, bite me's.
Or biteems? Bitemies?
Bite.
It's literally spelled like bite me's.
Bite Timmy's.
Bitemies. Bitemies.
Bite me's. It's very kinky, Robert Jordan.
No, but I always figured those were like gnats.
Yeah, that's
gnats.
what I figured too.
So I don't know. Yeah, there are flies, because whenever there's a dead body, Robert Jordan's like, there be flies.
And there's honey, so there has to be bees.
Yeah. But no spars.
And there's silk, so there has to be silkworms. Unless Robert Jordan has decided that silk and honey come from Shara.
Yeah, it's Shara. That's where all the spiders are.
That's why they've closed their walls to public service.
Spider infestation. Ooh, my nightmare, but honestly. Like, can you imagine, though, last battle, they're like, oh no, the Sharans are just like a swarm of small spiders.
And they're like, we know how to get the dark one. It's like that scene in MHA where they get all the bugs on President Mike.
Ah! I love that scene.
The dark one's just like, no, this is too much.
The dark one's like, ooh.
No.
Ick. Spiders, they are my weakness.
You can keep the world.
Those little creatures.
Little critters.
Little critters that I personally hate, but I understand that they serve a purpose.
Everything serves a purpose in the ecosystem. Except for
white
humans.
men. Right, so Brigitte's like, okay, I have to leave now. And Nynaeve's like, can I please tell some other people about your existence? And Brigitte's like, no, I totally broke the rules to talk to you. And Nynaeve's like, okay, well then what's one more rule? Mm-hmm. And Brigitte's like,
integrity,
indiscernible
blah, blah, blah.
honor system.
Honor!
It's like, okay, whatever. She leaves. Then Nynaeve is like checking herself out in a mirror, some like slutty clothes, and thinking like, Lan would pop the biggest boner if he saw this. And then Egg is like, what are you wearing?
It's a vacancy.
It's like, why can't someone just like full lingerie?
Yeah.
Egg's like, oh my god, you're like my mom? My mom's sister?
You're my mom's sister.
Our relationship is complex.
Put clothes on.
Please stop. And then Nynaeve's like, how's Lan? And Egg's like, you are so horny.
She's very horny. I'm very proud of her for that.
Good for her. It's Egg and Melaine, the wise one, the pretty wise one, who Nynaeve, for like some reason, is convinced that Melaine is going to bone Lan.
And it's like, Nynaeve, nobody except you wants to bone Lan.
He's not interesting.
He's not, like, hot. I mean, I know that's apparently a contrary, unpopular opinion in the Wheel of Time world. And the real world's Wheel of Time fans, but nothing about Lan does it for me.
So then they're just, like, chatting. I can't remember. Nynaeve's like, how's Lan? Egg's like, he's fine. How are things with you? Nynaeve's like, here's the update. Only when she tells the story about the fork root, she makes it seem like it didn't happen, that they, like, caught it in time.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how you would be like, and we know it stops channeling, and it makes people paralyzed.
But I didn't ingest it.
She just told us that. We have no idea of what constitutes a real threat. And Egg's like, okay, here's what's happening. War is about to descend on Kyrian, which is a little bit bigger than your dumb interpersonal issues with Elaine. And Nynaeve's like, well, that's not good. Is Rand crazy already? And Egg's like, no, but he's bossing Moiraine around and she's letting him. It's very bizarre.
Yeah.
And Nynaeve's like, okay, well, you're just going to have to keep him from getting too egotistical. And Egg's like, I'm trying, but it's really hard.
Yeah, he's not listening.
He's not listening. And I'm like, well, your methods aren't great. I think we all need to accept that if you try to do something and it fails repeatedly, you can't just be like, the problem must be the other person. No, that's how we all like to think.
Yeah.
But sometimes the problem is me.
No. I'm perfect. The problem has never been me. Ever. What are you talking about?
But whatever. Melaine's like, Nynaeve's like, and the Forsaken are doing some schemes, so watch out for that. And Melaine's like, how would you even know that? Are you wandering around Teleron Riyadh? And Nynaeve's like, yeah, what if I am, bitch? And Melaine's like, well, you shouldn't, because you'll die.
Yeah.
And Nynaeve's like, fuck you.
They're very fighty for reasons unknown.
And Egg is like, maybe... Shh.
Shut up.
Maybe be quiet. Maybe don't be mad at each other.
Yeah. War is coming.
We're all on the same team here. The same Magic Lady squad.
Yeah. Girl gang.
So let's just be chill. But Nynaeve's like, meh, 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 meh. And after Melaine and Egg leave, she's like, I will go explore Teleron Riyadh on my own. And that's where we end the chapter. And I think the next chapter involves, like, her and Egg both doing some Teleron Riyadh exploration. I think she goes to, like, the White Tower and...
Egg is like, what the fuck are you doing?
What are
and
you
Nynaeve's
doing?
like, what the fuck are you doing?
It's like that Spider-Man meme. I just like... It's so funny that the two, like, Teleron Riyadh settings that we get are, like, Kalendor and the White Tower. Mm-hmm. Like, the girls often go to the White Tower to, like, investigate the Amerlin's office or whatever. And they're just, like, set meeting point is the Stone of Tyr.
Yeah, which is odd.
Yeah, even though they're constantly describing it as, like, the creepiest place of all time. They're like, someone's watching me. Mm-hmm. 100% of the time.
Yeah.
But, like, nah, we are just... And, like, it's been proven that people are watching them half the time. The Forsaken always come out of the shadows and are like, oh, that was an interesting conversation that I eavesdropped on.
Yeah.
And it's like, ladies, maybe choose a different meeting spot.
Yeah, like at any point in the series.
No, yeah, I don't know. I think it's just to remind us, the readers, of the importance of Kalendor. Even though it's not that important. I'll be the one to say it. It's a dumb sword.
Yeah. I don't... Like, it's just very annoying that Rand goes on this huge Arthurian quest.
Well, yeah.
To get the sword out of the stone. And then is like, I'm scared. I'm going to put the sword back in the stone.
Like, never mind.
He's
Kalendor?
Like,
can't be bothered.
And you're like, take your big phallic battery and go away.
Yeah, I don't know why Robert Jordan's, like, commitment to Arthurian legend manifested in these very strange ways.
Yeah.
Like, either you have the sword in the stone or you don't, you know?
Yeah. It's kind of the whole thing.
Or you might pull the sword out of the stone and then break the sword in the stone, according to Sir Thomas Mallory. And then you break it, and then you have to go to the lake and be like, can I have a new sword, please?
Lady.
And the lady's like, oh, fine, you bastard. Here's Excalibur. The first sword was Caliburn, which is different, apparently. I've been doing a lot of King Arthur research.
Join us on Patreon for our April In an Hour or Less series.
Yeah, in an hour or less. We'll hope it's in an hour or less. There's
a lot of King Arthur.
There's a lot of King Arthur to cover. He's a big boy. Well-turned calf or whatever. Ooh.
Sexy.
Leggies.
His well-turned leggies.
Well-turned leggies is probably going to be the title of this episode. I know myself. I just love the phrase leggies too much.
The leggy. Have you seen that art of Kuro and Bokuto on the beach?
Oh,
Kuro sticks. Let me see if I can find it. Keep talking about something.
I don't have anything else to talk about. That's the end of the chapters. Next chapters will be Nynaeve and Egg, as I already said, and then Elaine, I think, her point of view, as Galad enters the picture.
And we're like, oh shit.
Which is like, yeah, I guess. You see a bunch of White Cloaks. But until this point, I don't think we knew Galad had joined the White Cloaks properly.
Yeah.
We knew he'd been hanging out with them in taverns, getting drunk. Inundated. What's that word for, when you're getting into extremist views? Radicalization.
He's being radicalized.
Thanks, Google. I typed in young men getting into extremist stuff. What's the word?
Google was like, I know.
Google had my back. Yeah, Glad's getting radicalized. But, that'll be that. And until then, stay frosty.
Thanks to Glenna Mackenzie for the use of our theme song.
Thanks to all of you for listening.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm having a day. Thanks to everyone for listening. Thanks to everyone who's been supporting the podcast in whatever way you can during these absolutely nonsensical times in which we are living, whether that's just listening, which is the best you can do ever, tweeting about us, talking to us on social media, supporting us on Patreon, whatever. Watching our, Emily's weekly Wind Waker streams on Friday.
Apparently we've reached a low point in the video game in which I just have to sail around the ocean, actually mapping the ocean, which is a thing I've been not knowing how to do until this point. So it could be pretty chill for the next couple weeks. Just so you know.
Yeah.
Hope you're all staying safe, staying sane, staying inside. In America, people don't want to stay inside anymore. And they're like, oh, hey, our rights, though. No, you should stay inside. So you don't die.
Hate America.
Yeah, it's a terrible place.
It's a terrible garbage country where everyone is just so frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah, the protests last weekend where everyone was like, my right to get a haircut. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
And now the news is like, oh, suddenly coronavirus has spiked amongst protesters. Shocking.
It's like, no shit, Sherlock.
We all saw this coming. Okay, anyway. Do a sign-off?
I have a couple of listener-submitted sign-offs
Ooh,
for the next couple
exciting.
of weeks. So this first one comes from Kit Kat. I know you've told us your name before, but I think it's funny, so it's going to be Kit Kat. Okay, where do I start? So, I have finally joined those in quarantine because I was considered an essential worker. Therapy was ordered out of the building in order to decrease chances of infection since we are all over the facility. So now I'm stuck at home for the week. We find out if we can return at the end of the week, which I think was last week, but I hope you are being safe no matter what the choice was.
Mm-hmm.
However, last week, some friends and I decided to play some board games online and have a virtual happy hour. Very fun. I learned that 1, my tolerance, which is already very low, is even lower than I thought. 2, the beverage I was drinking didn't hit me until I had to move, and then I about face-planted on my bedroom floor. And 3, my ability to spell goes downhill when drunk. We learned that we could add statuses on our names on the online platform. Shortly after discovering this and almost face planting, I meant to make my status say definitely drunk. I misspelled definitely. My childhood best friend helpfully points out that it said defiantly drunk instead of definitely
hell
drunk.
yeah.
Good for you.
Defiantly drunk.
I've decided to be defiantly drunk in
Freedom!
the face of the pandemic.
Yeah, I mean, that's all many of us can do, really.
It's true.
All right.
All right. Stay safe.
Don't do war crimes. Goodbye.
Goodbye.